Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm here with
Hello.
Out Magazine, and we're just gonna talk about like your legacy a little bit.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. I'm gonna talk in like Stan speak a little bit.
Stan
But
speak, go.
yes, you're like a main pop girly.
Okay,
But
bestie.
but you've definitely cemented your status as a gay icon. Was there a moment that you kind of looked around and were like, "Wow, the gays love me," or like, is that weird to hear to you?
Well, what's interesting is like I came from a very sheltered upbringing where like it wasn't okay to be friends with anyone from that community. And now that is my community.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my show. That is, it's my people. It's my everyday life. It's in my house. It's in my work. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't have survived without the community, and couldn't, quite honestly. And so it's amazing how full circle it's come and how much growth has happened since, I started, and how much education, access, and evolution. So I'm grateful for the support from the community, and they just make everything more fun.
Truly.
And shine
they
bright.
really do. Yes.
With glitter.
Yes.
Okay.
Period.
And this show is definitely for them. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
If there's one show that Play is for, it's for that community.
Yes.
Yes.
So I Kissed a Girl came out. That was 2008. I was in high school. I remember when it came on the radio, my mom was like, "What is this? It's kind of blasphemous." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And
That
like,
is!
listening to it in private on repeat. But for me, it was the first time in high school that anyone talked about like kissing girls. Like it was like,
Yeah,
it was-
talking about bisexuality.
Yeah.
I think that time, it was actually, for me, in that time, that bisexuality kind of got its label of sorts that
Yeah.
was really general public. And it was like, oh, so that is what this is, or this feeling or this experience or what have you. And, I was just writing about my own experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like yourself have come up to me and been like, I heard this when I was a little, when I was in high school, and my parents were like, oh, and my parents were even like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even play it for them. It was like, I actually was, my sister, who's my older sister, just by a couple of years, she's a little bit more of like the head of the family. I'm like, okay, play this song for them. Because I was in my 20s and I was still like really afraid of my parents, Now
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an experience for sure.
Yeah.
Starting with that song.
Yeah.
I love it, and I still sing it, and I'm going to sing it at Play.
I was gonna ask.
It's on the roster.
Yes, great. Okay, so I think that like one reason, or I'll say, while I connected to your music, especially too, is because when I was younger and coming out, I wasn't sure if I would ever like have that possibility of love, which is like kind of a sad thing. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't really envision that for me.
Yeah.
But when I remember when Teenage Dream came out, and it felt like this hopeful, youthful, amazing, like, yeah, you all deserve love and you can be in love, and that really inspired me and really was really important to me and formative. And I tell people that you turned me gay. But it was very, very important. So I guess I just wanted to bring that up real quick. But I also think about that moment, and I think about Firework, where that was the first time I saw two guys kiss in a music video.
Really?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Was that like, what were you thinking in that moment? Was it purposeful? Were you like,
Yeah, very purposeful. And to be inclusive, and to normalize, and I think my songs have always been colorful, and they've always been hopeful, and sometimes those two things even mix. They're both colorful and hopeful and fun and like very campy. And my whole life has been kind of campy, from the costumes to some of the lyrics and yada yada. But I really pride myself on the fact that a lot of these songs, they help revive the spirit. And, they support and they give you hope. And a lot of these songs I wrote in my darkest times, speaking to myself, saying, girl, you've got to find your voice. You're going to hear me roar. Or, girl, you do matter. You are a firework. All it takes is a little spark. All of those songs were encouragements first and foremost for myself, but they were so honest that I think it really resonated with the listener because they were coming from an honest place. And, you know, I really strive to write so honestly and, you know, wear my heart on my sleeve the whole bit and hold nothing back, which is a little bit like, ooh, it's
scary.
It's scary sometimes. Especially when, in the beginning, when no one knows who you are, it's like, okay, whatever, you have nothing to lose. But then when everyone knows all the things about your life, it's like, oh gosh, you know, you're still revealing. Mm-hmm. You're still telling the truth about your perspective and journey. But yeah, I mean, it's all fun and hopeful and joyful at the end of the day. And I am camp with a capital K.
Yes. Did you ever write a song in the studio and you were like, wow, the gays are going to eat this up? Like, the gays are going to love it. Was that ever on your mind in the studio?
Well,
Like, I think about, like, Peacock or, like, Walking on Air.
Peacock was definitely inspired by the community. Yes, WAO, Walking on Air, is definitely, you know, like, we were inspired by, like, 90s house music.
Yeah.
And that scene a lot of times. And then, you know, in the future, there's definitely going to be something, that is going to take some wigs.
In the future.
We're
snatching wigs.
The wigs are falling. They're falling. Wig. W.I.G.
Period. Yes.
Dot. Period.
A new generation of artists is very inspired by your work. Like, I think about, like, Olivia Rodrigo on Brutal. She mentions "Where's My Teenage Dream," and, like, Fletcher just sampled "I Kissed a Girl" in her new song. It's about girls. How does that make you feel? Like,
old. Honestly, old.
Yeah.
And grateful that I survived it. Grateful I'm not, like, dead in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow, it's coming all the way back around. Things are nostalgic. What? Feels like yesterday, especially when people are like, oh my gosh, I used to listen to you when I was a kid. And they're like full on adults with kids. I'm like,
yeah,
it's time for me to grow up. Maybe no. But it's awesome. It means that the music is still resonating.
Yeah.
It means that the message still rings true for people. So it's, you know, it's fun. It's wonderful to have that stamp.
Yeah. Yes. So your Vegas residency is called Play.
Yes.
Why? What inspired the name? And what should we expect?
Ooh, well, hold on to wigs. Play. It is playful. So I'll just tell you the truth about it. I, in COVID, was pregnant and having a lot of movie nights with my nieces, and I was introducing them to some of my favorite films. A couple from the 90s, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Classics. Pee-wee's Playhouse, or Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And they somehow just, like, some of those ideas of things being larger than life seeped into this show. And things that are kind of these inanimate puppets seeped into this show. And I play a doll, and I get chosen by a little boy and get run through it. I mean, he just demolishes me, and I get found by a little girl. But meanwhile, I am in all these different setups that are like, I have like a 30-foot toilet that's like 10 times my size. I pop out of it. I have a bedroom scene, a bathroom scene, an outdoor scene where I maybe take some mushrooms. And then I have a scene, you know, one of the sets is in a trash can. And there's trash all around me.
Okay.
Everything is made of trash.
Okay.
It's trash green. It's not trashic. It's trashic. Okay? And
Green
there's a
trash.
walk-off in there. It's, you know, it's very wild. But it's just going to be a feast for both the ears and the eyes. And it is the most laughter I've had in a rehearsal setting ever in my life. and with my co-creators and collaborators and the dancers and the band, everybody's just like, this is the kookiest idea.
Yeah.
It is the kookiest. It is the kookiest, most camp show I've ever put together.
That's what we love.
So come at me.
Yes.
And a lot of it is like a lot of the songs, which the set list is really the set list is the top 20 songs on my streamers. Like what people are listening to. So you're getting all those hits,
all
right?
The hits.
Those are the songs you came to see. And some of them you're getting the Daisy's remix.
Yes.
You know, so you're going to get some of these songs remixed and the beat is going to continue going on and on. So if you want to dance, if you want to party, the whole thing, it is set up for it all.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's my next question because I've seen you live 6 times.
What?
6 times.
Which
I have
shows?
the Hello Katy. Sorry.
Hello Katy.
OMG.
Look at
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna sign that, right?
Please.
Yes,
please.
I will.
What you do a lot of like remixes. Like I think about like I Kissed a Girl. You did like a jazz kind of reimagining of it back in the day.
For
That was
California Dreams tour.
Yeah, and like the MTV Unplugged. What are you gonna? Yeah, like you kind of mentioned some remixes, but are there specific songs or?
Well,
something
definitely
that
Waking Up in Vegas is gonna make its fresh facelift remix into the set. We have some, LGBTQ favorites that are coming back that I haven't played for a while that they have left in the comments. So they will get it.
Can we get any names?
Like something about walking on something. And they want it, you got it. And just like all the hits. But we have given like some BPM to some of them, and they are beefier and better, and just like it's so fun. It's an up show.
Yes.
It's an up show. I may be singing like 1.5 slow songs. This is not the acoustic Katy just yet, kids. So buckle up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Over the years, over the tours, there have been so many insane gags, and I remember like you on the Cloud and the Teenage Dream tour, and the Sunflowers, and so what are some of your favorites?
Well, looking back, I have noticed that I have really played with a lot of color, but sometimes I play with like spinning peppermints.
Yeah.
It has like a little thing in it. Some batteries. Batteries are usually included in my outfits. And I've had a light up for the Prismatic World Tour. I had my first outfit that I wore on the Prismatic World Tour. It was a Roberto Cavalli outfit, silver, and it lit up. And that was really fun. So a couple of these costumes that I've had made have a couple of gimmicks in them and may light up. And there are so many rhinestones. I think more rhinestones on some of these costumes than I've had in the past. So yeah, and it's all kind of like subtly set in the 60s. So it's very like thematic, a little psychedelic. It's so much fun. I mean, you want to come see it maybe twice. Yes.
I probably will.
Okay.
I think that's all the time I have for you, but I'm just.
Oh, well, let me sign your poster,
please,
girl.
Please.
Can I have a Sharpie?
I brought one just in case too. I was ready.